What's going on, drivers? I just wanted to do a quick video, well, not so quick maybe, but a video on my experience with Crete Carrier on the owner-operator side. I've been with the company now for 7 months, so I'm calling this my 6-month update because, well, technically I took January off to go play in Thailand, but, you know, that happens. But I figured I'd give you guys numbers, let you know my thoughts and feelings on it, and this is based on just my experience, not selling nothing, not promoting nobody, not asking for referral money, none of that crap. You know, I like numbers, and the reason I came on with this company is numbers. So let's put this in context a little bit. I've been driving now for, I don't know, about 6.5 years. About half of that was as a company driver. The other half was fleeced, you know, trying to get ahead by leasing a truck and that kind of crap, which really might work for you, but hadn't worked for me. And I went back to work. I took some time off to go finish up some school stuff, but went back to work as a company driver, and you know, I mean, it was all right. You know, for paper transport, I was running, you know, 2,800 miles a week home on the weekends, that kind of crap. But, you know, I mean, it's like $700, $800, $900 a week, you know, which, you know, isn't, you know, it's not nothing, but it's not where I need to be these days. And whatever you may think of him and his self-promotional antics and whatnot, Crete Carrier came across my desk, or into my mind, because of Jason Pote. He was putting up numbers on what they were doing, and I liked the numbers that he was quoting. Granted, his numbers were a little bit off from what happened in reality, but he was, you know, my guess being he was making good money on referrals. But anyway, that's how it came across my desk. And I found a deal that I couldn't turn down. So this does not apply to you guys now, and probably wouldn't apply to most of you, because you either hate them or don't have the risk tolerance to be able to get one. But I ended up buying one of Crete's ProStars. Yeah, I know, ProStars, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, simple fact of the matter was, they were asking $25,000 for the truck, $3,000 for the extended warranty. So it was $28,000 for a 14 with 390,000 miles on it. New tires, new fuel pump, new air pump, new fan clutch, all kinds of crap, okay? I can buy a crate motor for this truck for about 20 grand. So I'm still less than a Cascadia, because they were selling Cascadias at that point for 47. Anyway, so I could not turn down owning my own truck for $30,000 that only had 390,000 miles on it. Okay? It's not my dream truck. It's not the truck I want, you know, and all that crap. I'm about numbers. And quite frankly, this truck makes me some freaking money. That's what I like. Anyway, so I jumped in. I did that. I bought their truck. They financed it. I put a couple grand down. They financed it at 7%. I think it was for about 2 years. Payments were like $350 a week or something. Whatever, you know, if that's the route you need to go, it doesn't quite apply to you, because that's not what they're selling right now. But I ended up paying off my truck way ahead of time. I paid it off in 5 months. That's why, as soon as I paid it off, I jumped on a plane and went to Thailand and went and relaxed for a month. So truck was paid for, came back, and now everything goes to me pretty much. All right, so that's the context of this. Like I said, I'm running a 14 ProStar. It's got 456,000 miles on it right now. Running fine, you know. If the exhaust emissions crap becomes an issue, it may accidentally all get deleted from the ECM. You never know. These things happen. But as of right now, everything is running legal. And one of the odd things with the warranty that they offered with it is it doesn't kick in until after the factory warranty expires. And I actually still have till the end of May under factory warranty. So I've got 200 and probably 20,000 more miles worth of warranty on this. Now, granted, the extended warranty is NTP, which will be the same if you buy a truck from them, one of their Cascadias. And yeah, you got to fight a little bit with them, and yeah, they don't cover everything, and yeah, they don't cover all of what they cover. So, you know, but I mean, you blow up a motor, they'll cover 60 or 70% of it, maybe 75% by the time everything balances out and taxes and crap like that. So it's not great, but you know, if you have a catastrophic issue, it'll work. Anyway, currently what they are doing, Crete Carrier is offering 15 Cascadias, 2015 Cascadias, probably in the 350 to 400,000 mile range, at $57,000. That's the current gig right now. And they'll finance you with, like they say, $2,000 to $7,000 down, $2,000 to $7,000 down. I would plan on it probably being closer to $7,000. I didn't get any particular breaks when I looked at financing with them, and I had a credit score of around 750, but I had an old tax lien still showing up, so I was still, I guess, technically a risk. Anyway, so plan on, you know, probably closer to $7,000 down on a $57,000 truck, which is not bad because that's a fairly good wholesale rate. You know, they're typically running $75,000 or $80,000 at a dealer right now. So you're getting a pretty good break there. You know where it's been. You can look at all the history records, all that crap. Okay, so that's assuming you need a truck. That's how you can get a truck. This is not a lease. You are financing it through a finance company that Crete owns. You know, they say it's another company, but it's all bullshit. It's like, you know, Schneider and Schneider Finance. Same damn thing. Okay. But anyway, so that's kind of the gig with that stuff. Now let's talk about money. As of first of the year, they bumped everything up a penny, so your rates are between 98 cents and $1.18 per mile, and depends on length of haul. That's available on our website. Blah blah blah. Okay. You are paid practical miles, not household miles. Okay, not zip code to zip code or some other bullshit scam crap they try to do. You're getting paid practical miles, which, if you compare that to any other company, there's 5% increase in your pay right there. Okay, because you are getting paid for the miles you freaking drive, not taking a deduction for some mythological freaking super shortcut that, you know, you could do if your truck ran across cornfields. So yes, you get paid practical miles, so I consider that to be about a 5 cent a mile bump in pay compared to another company. Okay, that company that pays HHG. Now, another good thing about this company, they pass on the fuel discounts. Okay, now, I do not fuel correctly. Okay, I fuel where I want, when I want, and that's it. Okay, and that's perfectly fine. They do run EFS, not ComData, but it's the same damn thing. Now, if I fuel up on their fuel plan, I will average typically about 50 to 60 cents off a gallon, off the cash pump price that you see up there. My experience has been lately that when I fuel up when I want, where I want, it's typically 35 to 50 cents off the cash pump price. Now, to put that in context, my last 3 fill-ups, I just looked these up on the EFS and my settlements. I saved 50 cents, 49 cents, and 33 cents respectively per gallon off the cash pump price, which is 16.8%, 16.5%, and 11.6% off the total price. Okay. Now, if you're saving 50 cents on a gallon of gas, on a gallon of diesel. That's like putting another 7 cents per mile in your pocket. Most of these companies want to give you like 10 cents off pump price and crap like that. And you know as well as I do, you're driving around looking at a Love's or a Pilot, and they're 20 cents higher than any of the mom and pops or, you know, Sinclair's or whatever, you know, Phillips 66. You know, they're charging a premium at these freaking truck stops these days because people like me are getting excellent discounts. So, anyway, typically, like I said, I'm not trying to cherry pick numbers. Those are just my last 3 fill-ups. You know, I don't know why. One of them was 35 and one of them was 49 when it was the same pump price, but it's what it was. I'm not cherry picking numbers. So, anyway, I look at that, like I said, as another 7 cents a mile on top of my mileage pay. It's about 6.5 miles to the gallon's about what I average. And so we got 5 cents we're tacking on for the practical versus household good. We got 7 cents a mile tacked on for the fuel discount, and they pay a reasonable fuel surcharge. Currently it is 27 cents. It's 27 cents a mile. Okay, so, oh, what's that? 27, 39. So you got 39 cents basically on top of your distance rate, 98 to 119. Those are the numbers. That's, today is March, I don't know, 8th. Okay, March 8th, 2018. Those are my numbers at this exact time and day. Tomorrow, who knows? But, so basically, you know, I'm making typically about $1.35 to $1.40 a mile once you consider all those things. Now you compare that, you know, with some companies, that's a lot better than most. You know, your mileage may vary with Landstar. You know, when you're only making 65% of the, you know, of the revenue, things like that. But they do pass on fuel discounts, so you do make out there. Anyway, those are my numbers. Extra costs right now, yes, there are extra costs to driving for Crete. If you want their medical insurance, which I do not find affordable, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 for a single person a month. I ain't paying that shit. I do have to pay workman's comp. That's $180 a month. My truck insurance is, I don't even know, it's next to nothing. You know, I mean, I have this thing insured for $26,000, so, you know, it's nothing. You do have to pay for Qualcomms, which I freaking don't like the pricing on, but it's like $30 a month for the Qualcomm and $10 to insure the Qualcomm, kind of a thing. So they kind of hose you there. But whatever. Price of doing business. I'm fat. Guess what? I magically qualified for a sleep study, and wouldn't you know it, that sleep study said I have some sort of obstructive sleeping disorder, breathing disorder when I sleep. It's not the actual apnea, slow down, whatever. Bullshit stuff. Okay, so yes, I got stuck with having to buy a $900 sleep apnea machine. And I have to use it, and it's got a little modem in there, calls it in, and all that crap. I mean, they did finance it, you know, $50 a week or whatever for however long it was. But we all know that's a bullshit fucking scam, okay? If you're worried about people's quality of sleep, outlaw team driving. Because I guarantee you, me snoring or whatever, sleeping on my side, is a hell of a lot more restful than trying to sleep in the back of a truck running through freaking Louisiana. So yes, one thing I do not like about Crete is their little sleep study bullshit, okay? Plain and simple. I think it's bullshit. It's a tax they pass on you so they can look good, like they care about safety. But yes, team driving is still legal, and a lot of companies still encouraged. Anyway, these are my numbers. This is my rant. I'm averaging a little over 11,000 miles a month. I go out typically for 2.5, 3 weeks, come home for 3 or 4 days. Sometimes I leave the country for a month at a time. Typically, I try to leave the country in January because, frankly, January sucks. You know, freight's not that great and the weather sucks. And then people aren't used to driving in snow. The roads aren't, you know, treated adequately yet. You know the routine, guys. I don't get paid more for driving in the freaking snow. So guess what? I don't drive in it. I do have load choice. So when I make my empty call, they send me 3 loads. If I don't like anything on those 3 loads, I send it back to them, say, hey, give me something going somewhere else, blah, blah, blah. They'll send me another 3 loads. That works most of the time. Some of the overnight coverage people and things like that will only send you 1 load. And then they get mouthy and whatever. This has only happened once, but it has happened, and it did piss me off. That, you know, she basically said, you can have this or just sit and wait till tomorrow. So I said, okay, I'll sit and wait till tomorrow. And I'll make my load choices. Now, with load choice this time of year, this is, like I said, March. Instead of basing all my decisions on weight and distance, my primary determining factor is weather. So I only choose loads that are going places where the weather is fine. I'll put it to you this way. I have only driven 2.5 days this winter in heavy snow or any real snow on the ground. I mean, I'm outside, where am I at? Minnesota-Iowa border right now. And there is snow on the ground, but not on the roads. You know, and it's 20-odd degrees or whatever. But there's no snow, and I know there's no snow here for the next 3 or 4 days. So I'll get up here, I'll get my load delivered to Minneapolis tomorrow, and I'll pull something going probably to Texas. I'll take a look at the weather map, see what's going to happen. And I'll probably just do a run down 35 down to Texas over the weekend. Done. You know, my first week back, I live in Florida. I went from Florida up to Delaware. Picked up, dropped that, picked up in eastern Pennsylvania there. Ran that over to St. Paul, down to Dallas, up to Denver, out to Stockton, and back down to Florida. That was my first little 2 weeks back. And I had 2 hours of snow because I chose the routes where the snow wasn't. It's what I do this time of year. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not I can drive through anything, blah, blah, blah. No, if you're not paying me, you ain't getting me. And for me to assume more risk, I assume I want more money. So at the rates I get, I take the loads I take. And that's how they're based. Anyway, guys, overall, Crete has been a good company to me. There are things I do not like that CPAP thing and that pain in the ass dispatcher or asset manager, you know, that pissed me off that night. But look, ain't no company perfect. As far as you guys wanting to do company stuff, I know very little about the company side of this company, other than you don't get load choice. But I will say this, that I have not talked to any company drivers at our terminals that had plans to leave anytime soon. So that tells you something right there. Usually truck drivers get together and they bitch about everything and talk a bunch of crap. That's not the case here. This company that I've seen, and all I can tell you is what I've seen. All I can do is, as an owner-operator, operating owner in Crete for the last 7.5 months, I can tell you what I've done. I can tell you that I am happy with the money I am making, and I'm not real happy with the maintenance they have there. AMS, Ackley Maintenance System, subcontracts all their maintenance at their terminals. And if you ask me, they're a bunch of crap. But that's me. That's my experiences. First time I put my truck in the shop there, I put it in for the to get the bunk heater working. These ProStars with the electric power unit things, they're not like the S-bar heaters. They're a little more complicated and finicky. I put it in to get it fixed. Told them, you know, I'm home for 3 days. Gave them a budget of $500. I come back after 3 days, still not ready. Still had to wait another 3 days. Then it ended up costing over $1,000 to fix it. That's not what I agreed to, but that's what I had to pay. I just took it into the terminal, and where was I? Oh, shit. New Kingston, Pennsylvania. And, you know, they want you to have DOTs done every 6 months here, you know, as an owner op. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know, they're supposed to, you know, do DOTs for nothing, you know, if you bring it into the company shops. Yeah. They were trying to hit me for all kinds of crap. Well, not all kinds of crap. They tried to hit me for an EGR leak and a left parking light, neither of which are actually wrong with this truck. Now, they were saying the DPF was leaking at the gasket. I went into the truck, pulled the panel off. There ain't no leak. And there's nothing wrong with the left parking lights on this truck. My guess is they have extra parts in their inventory, and they're going away from the ProStars for the most part, and they're trying to use up those parts. And they said I failed the inspection because of those two things. I said, thank you, let me have my keys back. I went down the street to Love's, paid my $50, and guess what? It's a miracle! My truck passed! Holy shit! It must have spontaneously fixed itself. That or I ran over a Buddhist that blessed it when I ran him over. I don't know. Whatever. But wouldn't you know it? Isn't that interesting? So yeah, nothing's perfect. Put your big boy pants on and do your homework. Find out shops that you want to use. Don't just use the ones they want you to use, and don't just use what's easy. You gotta, this is owner op side, guys. You gotta do your research. You gotta be able to Google your, you know, your engine codes and things like that. Find out if it's a problem that you need to deal with now or later. I have one of the Nexic readers that I plug into the ECM on this truck, and the program's on my laptop back there for both the Service Max and the Wabco stuff, the anti-lock brake and the radar crap. These are just expenses I incurred. Granted, I bought them from Chinese pirates, so they didn't really, you know, cost me much. But the little Nexic reader gig that plugs into the 10-pin or whatever you call it on here, that is expensive. You can't really get around that. It's like $650 or something. Anyway, that's just putting your big boy pants on when you're doing owner op shit, guys. Anyway, Crete, I do have a couple little bitches about it, but overall, it has been good to me. Any of my concerns that I've raised, I don't really, I have never physically talked to my asset manager. Everything comes across the Qualcomm, and I am absolutely fine with that because there is no he said, she said bullshit. Everything is in writing from me and from them. That keeps everybody honest-ish. But anyway, guys, that's my 6-month update with Crete. Hope you got something out of this, not just me ranting and bitching. Tried to give you some numbers that are current and real, not, you know, recruiting numbers. So, drivers, be safe out there. Try to keep the four-wheelers out from under the trailers. And make some money, guys. Later.